Welcome back. This is the outro for mass, weight, and force. So we're going to conclude this collection and kind of summarize what we talked about and what the main points were. As always, 3 or more bullet points worth of notes, a 1 to 2 sentence summary, and your follow-up questions on Google Forms, please. Alright, so the big idea we've been working towards is how do we describe and predict the effects of pushes and pulls, in other words, forces, as we learned, on the motion of something. Well, things with large masses aren't as affected by pushes and pulls. In other words, they're not as affected by forces. It takes more force to kind of cause them to move significantly or to accelerate them significantly. So that's our first way to answer this question is we can look at what is the effect of a push or a pull on different objects, and it depends on the object's mass. The unit focus that we are looking at is what is a force and why do heavy things seem less affected by pushes and pulls? Well, we talked about this idea that heaviness is really weight, in other words, how much it's being pulled down, and heavy things tend to have a lot of mass. So, since it's a linear relationship, the more weight something has, the more mass it also has. They're very much related, which means heavier things are less affected by forces. So it takes a bigger push in order to kind of accelerate it the same amount. The collection focus, we were looking at if gravity pulls everything down at the same rate of acceleration, then why does a rock feel heavier than a feather? And, well, now we can differentiate between weight and mass. And so even though they're both being accelerated at the same rate, because they have different masses, they have different weights. And we saw that in weight equals mass times gravity in that linear relationship. So now that we've looked at that, let's explore some other forces and see if they're similar to how weight behaves in terms of mass. That's it for this one. 3 or more bullet points worth of notes, a 1 to 2 sentence summary, and your follow-up questions on Google Forms.